cometh the hour. Are we rocking and rolling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening and welcome to this evening's meeting of Barnoldswick Town Council's General Purposes Committee.
Sure, okay. Sorry.
We are expecting another member. Joe, do we have any apologies?
Yeah, we do from Leanne, she's at work.
Thank you very much. We've got open forum, which is any questions from members of the public. We don't have any members of the public present, but if there are any questions asked on the chat, on the online live stream, we'll pick those up at the end of the meeting. Item 3, declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest that people have? Jodie?
Youth plans on the square.
Sorry?
Youth plans on the square. DPS role. It's a declarable interest.
I don't think it is a declarable interest.
It is. Because you're legally responsible, like you've told us, it's a declarable interest. Possibly pecuniary as well.
I don't agree with that, Jodie. I would suggest that it would be untenable for that role to be one which you had to declare an interest.
It is. It's legally, you have to declare an interest. It's a pecuniary interest because you've got the whole big responsibility.
Okay.
Because you've got your own licence. Because you've got your personal licence, you can be taken to court.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I disagree with your interpretation. I am content, as I have at previous meetings, to declare a personal interest because I am the DPS. I'm in a voluntary role on behalf of the Town Council at a Town Council event. It is not prejudicial, and I will not be absenting myself from the meeting.
Right. Just so you're aware, because of the money that you put on the last budget, it makes it a pecuniary interest if it's found to be an interest in the first place, which would make it a criminal offence.
Well, thank you very much, Jodie. I hear what you're saying. Thank you. Are there any declarations of interest that people want to? No. Thank you very much. Minutes of the last meeting, which is 13th of August. Would somebody move those as a correct record? Moved and seconded. Thank you very much. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Item 5, to consider a proposal for the Town Council to take part in the big plastic count from the 9th to 15th of March. Gillian.
Yeah, it's just something that we've been looking on the co-group, but also I got past this through various places to sort of get everyone's support if possible, you know, as leaders of the Town Council. So effectively, there's a couple of parts to this. It's just like investigating the reduction of plastics in Barnoldswick. So it's a consideration for us to consider a proposal for all the Town Council staff and Town Councillors to take part in the big plastic camp. So it starts on the 9th of March to the 16th. You have to do it online, so you have to register online. You have to sort of put, I know where I'm going wrong, Angela. So at the end of each day, you sort of see how much plastic you're collecting. Yeah, I think some things are excluded, but it's really quite when you go into the actual website, it's pretty easy to sort of to look through. So as part of that, we're perhaps encouraging schools and community groups as well to take part. The second part is to agree to reduce the carbon footprint at our community events, which I assume will go, I'm suggesting it's about contractors and suppliers really, avoiding single-use plastic, preventing and reducing food waste, reducing the carbon footprint of the food that these contractors and suppliers serve, and considering the location and the travel of these
For booking them.
Yes, yeah. So it's the, and I'm not sure whether that would go toward into the working group for the events committee, as opposed to, I'm assuming, would I email the events committee on that? Or would it just sort of follow on this meeting?
This is effectively
Part.
the Town Council's events committee.
Okay. All right,
Events is encompassed within the...
Oh, so it's on here, so that makes things a little bit easier then, doesn't it? I didn't know if somebody headed up that or the events. Is that yourself? Okay.
No, I mean, I chair the general purposes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in terms of how that would be exercised,
Yeah.
I mean, clearly the Town Council requires that people putting stalls and catering on
Yes.
to provide the food hygiene certificates, public libraries and the like.
Yeah.
And there could be a requirement for them to provide details of how they minimise
In these
their
four
waste.
areas, yeah.
I think it's an educator, sorry.
Bring Angela in. Angela, do you want to second the proposal?
Yeah, second proposal. It was just to say it's more about raising awareness and a little bit of education piece, and it's not going to be perfect. It's a stepping stone. You know, we get, the litter pickers get a really good kind of thumbs up when they do some work around here. It's just supporting them to try and reduce the litter in the first place. I'm not sure the caterers and everything would fund the food waste legislation yet. I don't know the size of the businesses, but you know, all businesses are now segregate food waste, and homes are going to be doing it. It's just an awareness campaign, that's all. To say, just think about those pieces that you've got, segregate what you can, reduce where you can. That's it. It's just to show that we're a forward-thinking council that's trying to make Barnoldswick, you know, at the forefront of this citizens' work.
If we can get it sort of people sort of holding to it on here, then sure, you know, it might pass down.
You know, and also to separate these soft plastic waste and maybe recycle it at the bins at the supermarkets. Because at the end of the day, when the food waste comes in theory, everything else should be recyclable. So there should be very little going in the grey bin.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be great if we get rid of grey bins because everything else is going to do a system.
Okay, Laura.
Thanks, Chad. I mean, my suggestion in regards to point B is that we could recommend to the full council to adopt a sustainable procurement policy,
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant.
which would cover, you know, events as well as
Yeah.
practice and any sort of.
And it's just for the inference, isn't it? You know, we have one at work, so you're not always going to get the most environment friendly inks for your printers, but at least you're starting with
To
that.
think about it.
And then you might discount it as a cost, but at least you thought about it and put it in people's minds.
Good.
I
So,
think,
Laura, can you just spell out what you propose in there?
That we recommend to full council to adopt a sustainable procurement policy, which can prioritise environmentally friendly options over your cost for anything the council procures, basically. I'm sure there's draft guides online we could adopt and modernise our requirements.
Is that accepted?
I looked today and we use a lot of cable ties, and I mean a lot of cable ties.
We can't do Christmas everything.
No, but we can
don't we?
reduce them.
Reduce them,
Because
yeah,
at the
yeah.
last market, rather than putting everything with cable ties, because at the end of the night you can never find anything to cut them,
Mm.
we've put them up with clamps, and then I've looked online today for some clamps to put the gazebo legs together rather than cable
Yeah.
ties. But I spoke to Nathan about what they're using. They don't use the clamps because the legs aren't always the same legs,
Right.
but they use like some shorter ratchet straps, and they're only £2 something each.
Yeah.
So we'd have them for every bed, and
Yeah.
we put them
Brilliant.
away
That's-
properly.
yeah,
Exactly, that was what I took from what
that.
do
Yeah,
I do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we can-
exactly. Change.
It's just change the
Yeah.
behaviour, it's
Yeah,
always
for
different.
education and stuff like that. It's great. Yeah.
Going round having to pick cable ties
Yeah.
at the end of events
Yeah.
pain because my back's hurting there.
So,
yeah.
so it's moved and seconded.
Yeah.
The proposal from Councillor Barnoldswick is accepted, so that's encompassed within the overall proposal.
Yeah.
Are there any further comments?
This is the hard copy basically of how to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can we put that to the vote? Those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. That's unanimous. Moving on then to the next item, item 6. And I've got Councillor Barnoldswick.
Yeah, thank you. I've got a green list from a technical pass it on. Right. Thank you, Chair. In terms of the item on the agenda tonight, this resolution encompasses all the points made. So one, that the Town Council representatives meet with licensing, environmental health, police licensing and neighbourhood police teams to discuss Barnoldswick by 2026 at 11 AM on 24th of February. Above discussion to include possible implications of Martin's Law for future years, which is due to come into effect the 2nd of April 2027. That draft event management plans and risk assessments of forthcoming Town Council events will be submitted to the full Town Council on 11th of March, together with confirmation insurance for each event. That lessons learned and debrief information be reported to the 11th of March meeting. That an application for road closure be submitted for the period of Barnoldswick Square, 16th to the 27th of May. That quotations be obtained for Barnoldswick Square, marquee, staging, security, first aid toilets and bar management, and the Town Council advertise for bar staff. And finally, that quotations be obtained for event management consultancy or temporary staff in order to assist with the implementation of the Town Council 26-27 events programme.
Thank you. Jodie?
I have a resolution as well. Due to the fact that the risk assessments weren't given to the official officer before the decision was made, really we shouldn't have made the decision because we haven't made an educated decision to even have that. So my resolution that in the light of no risk assessments as things stand at this moment, that we can't possibly carry on with the event.
Okay, you're moving that as an amendment. I would second the original proposal.
It's not an amendment, it's a
It
resolution.
is, it's an amendment. There's a proposal on the table. Yours is an amendment to that.
You second it.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know whether there are risk assessments in place. I am aware that risk assessments have been
The
produced.
risk assessment should be passed on to the responsible
Yeah.
officer before we can make a decision. It is a
And
legal requirement.
the responsible officer is the responsible officer for producing risk assessments.
No, they're not. The safety officer is the responsible officer for producing risk assessments. That is in the safety officer's job role description.
Okay. I'm not sure that there is a safety officer job role description adopted by the Town Council. However, there are standing orders and financial regulations, and the financial regulations state very clearly that the responsibility for assessing risks is with the RFO.
I don't think it will be the person that put the name down on the original paperwork, which is you.
Well, I'm sorry, Geordie, but I think you're mistaken with that. You misunderstand what the situation is. The fact of the matter is that the responsibilities for that documentation lay with the Town Council office.
I also think that you shouldn't really be influencing anything that's said
Okay.
at the moment,
Right.
because you haven't declared a pecuniary interest and you should.
Okay. I've taken advice on the matter. There is no pecuniary interest. If you've got a different opinion, that's fine, that's fair enough. But what we are discussing here is the totality of the Town Council events.
No, we're not. We're discussing bans on the swear and all that risk assessments.
Well, the proposal on the table is that
But the proposal's being made by someone that, by extension of you, who shouldn't be talking about it, also shouldn't be speaking about it. You can't do this. It's not. It can't be binding. It's against the code of conduct for starters. Yes, it is, David.
Geordie, I think you were mistaken.
Can you not treat me like I'm stupid, David? Because I'm not. Yeah.
I'm just pointing out what the situation is. Angela.
I am slightly lost on the technicalities and how some legal and everything. I mean, AI, since it's what George is suggesting, I suppose where I stand on this is I think this goes a long way to allaying the fears that were raised over Barnoldswick Square, which is why some people are saying voting. And I do think we need to find a way together to move forward, otherwise there'll be a fracture.
Technically, because
I appreciate
we
what
can't
you're
move
saying.
forward. We're in a catch-22 because people fail to declare interest.
Can we have one at a time? Angela.
It's just how do we find a way through this? We raised our concerns. Probably we weren't too a responsive a lot of the time, but happy to put that behind us and move on. We do want events for the town. We want them to be safe, and I think this helps a lot by outlining not just those on square but all events. So everybody's covered. You know, this way at the last full council. Jo realised her position in some of this, and we do not want to leave anybody exposed on a personal level. So I don't know enough about it. I do think we need to find. You sound like you've done a lot of research.
It came up accidentally, and then I realised that everything that David's been telling us over the last few months, that is the case. So then I researched it and looked into the legalities of it. Because part of me didn't want it to be true, but it is.
Angela, have you finished what you were saying? Thank you very much. Jo.
Can I ask who's providing the information in point 3? Bear in mind, I won't be here and I don't have the skill set to do this.
That's what item 7 is for.
Okay.
At the full council meeting, one of the reasons for increasing the events budget was if we needed to buy in any expertise.
Can I ask a question? Why you never thought this was important before? Because you are the safety officer. You are the reason I'm resigning. You. No one else. We were left completely exposed. We were at risk. I was spat at. We had people climbing fences. You were there. You made a citizen's arrest. At that point, you should have done something to protect your staff. And you didn't.
I recall that we did make changes.
What changes did you make?
We changed the fence line.
It got worse on Sunday.
Okay. Can we
There were no, David, I want to speak. There were no extra security brought in. I asked multiple times to bring this up in council meetings and you blocked every single time I've asked. You rode roughshod over every person in that meeting in September, or to November, whenever it was, when people asked that event to be cancelled because they had genuine safety concerns. How is it now important to do this when it wasn't important last year.
Thank you. I am aware that there are several code of conduct complaints that have been made, and it would be inappropriate to go through those issues at this meeting.
How can we? I'm sorry, I can't work for this council anymore. I sat in a meeting this morning and I almost considered staying, but you do not give a shit about anyone.
No, it's all about you.
I do not get what you get from it. That's the press ball. I'm sorry, Matt.
I don't know what
I'm
material
absolutely done.
is.
And the last meeting, watching your children take the piss out of me, and that's what they were doing, was the most heartbreaking thing I have ever gone through in all the time I've worked here. And there's been some very nasty things happen. But watching you snigger at 1:32, it is on video if you want to go back and watch it, is very disrespectful.
Adjournment,
I'm proposing an adjournment.
5 minutes. Is that seconded? All those in favour? Thank you. Can you pause the webcast, Lola?
Right, back on.
Okay. In the light of events, just resuming the meeting after the adjournment, we are of the view that we will end the meeting at this point and not continue with the business.